So welcome back. In this session, we will see something more about the Cucumber, like the Gherkin syntaxes, and each of the syntax, how it is utilizing, and what is the functionality of each syntaxes. Okay. So let's see in detail. So if you see the feature file, normally the extension is dot feature, and then if you see the first section will be the feature, where basically you have to mention what is that feature that you are going to automate. So let's say if I am going to automate a Facebook sign up page, then I would say that a feature verification of the sign up page. Okay. Background is something where you can write few of the preconditions that has to be there before your testing. So let's say that the background would be in a sign up page. It would be like launch a browser and then render the Facebook URL. Okay, because that should be the precondition before testing any of the scenario. So the scenario would be like testing all of the required fields. Another scenario would be testing all non-required fields. But for both of these scenarios, you will have the background as the user is loaded with the Facebook URL page, right? So the background will stay at the top, which will be executed before each scenario will be executed. Okay. So this is like, as you see here, this is nothing but very similar to any unit testing framework, right? Like your any unit or your TestNG, because there also we have something called as before class, before test, okay, before methods. So the same thing, background is basically before executing any scenario. Okay, now as I was talking about, BDD focuses more into scenario with examples rather than the test case. So here we have the scenario outline as a syntax. Now, what is this scenario outline with examples? So this is basically where you want to execute a particular set of steps multiple time. Okay, so here I will take another example, not the sign up page. Let's say that you are testing a login validation. Let's say you are validating a login scenario. So there you can have one test data for valid login, like valid username and password, and another scenario would be invalid scenario. Okay, where you can test with a incorrect username and password. Now here what happens, you will have two scenarios, one with valid credentials, one with invalid. So I've now, if you see, if I make two scenarios, then it is repeating your like the same code, right? So that's where actually the scenario outline come into the picture. Because if you see both of these scenarios, the common thing is that logging in, where you will be entering the username, entering the password, and then clicking on the sign in button. Only difference is your test data. That's where the scenario outline will come into the picture. So in the example, you can give like a grid format, like as a header, you can give username field column wise, and then you will have a password. Now, one row you can have a valid credential, another row could be a invalid credential, but the scenario outline should stay as it is. Now, in the verification for the scenario outline, you can mention what row is valid, what row is invalid. So I'll talk about that into the when we talk about the second block. So for now, just think about scenario outline where you want to execute a set of steps multiple times based on your test data. Okay. Now the second scenario is that is only scenario with data table. Now what if you want to set up test data, but you don't want to repeat the steps? Okay, only one time it will execute, but you want to set up test data. There you can use the data table. Okay, now data table is something again same as the examples, but the only difference is that you can have multiple rows there, but you have to read that grid at a time. And one thing, like when you are using scenario, there is no what you call mandatory that you need to have a data table. Wherever you need the test data, there you can use the data table, but a scenario can stay as it is without any test data. So let's say that your test scenario would be launch the browser, then load the URL, verify whether that URL is loaded or not. So in that moment, you don't need any kind of test data, right? You will have a some file from where you can get the browser name and also your browser URL. So in that time, you can have only a simple scenario only without any data table. Okay. So that is all about the first block. Now if you see the scenarios are scenarios, what exactly the scenario consists of, it is nothing but the steps, right? So for each step, to have it more natural language, the Cucumber or the Gherkin provides few of the stepwise also keywords, that is given, when, then. Now given is something as a precondition, like as I was telling, the given would be given user is on Facebook page. Okay, then when, so given user is on Facebook page, when user clicks on username field, then verify if the username field is filled with the content. So as you can see from this example, given is precondition, when when is basically used where the user is performing an action on the browser elements, then is something you are validating something. Because see here, each scenario, what is that we are automating, so we are validating the scenario, right? That's why given, when, then. Okay, now if you see, there are two more things, that is and but. Now why we are using this, so I'll give you a clear picture about this by an example. So given user is loaded with the Facebook URL, given user is connected to database, given user is already signed in. Let's say in a hypothetical scenario where you have three given scenarios, three given steps, because that is the precondition for you to verify something, right? Now think about this. I mean, giving three given statements in your scenario doesn't look good, right? As a natural language, where your steps are kind of what you call repeating with these keywords, there you can use and. Like one and scenario, I can tell given user is on Facebook page, when user clicks on username field and user clicks on the password field, how it is looking good actually, given user is connected to database and user is on Facebook page. Okay, so that's where the and but is more readability perspective they are giving, but it doesn't have really any meaning where you I mean when you are designing the step definition, instead of a and but in the step definition you can mention when and then also. There is no restriction to that, just for readability of the feature file they are using and but. Okay, so that's all about the individual steps. Now there are few more Gherkin syntaxes are there which Cucumber supports for more what do you call flexibility, is that tags. So tags are in one word, I can say, like a category in your unit testing framework. Like you can have like functional, regression, database and everything. Like you can have a API. So let's say your feature file, like as I was telling, sign up page, you can have some UI related scenarios, you can have some API related scenarios also, right? But let's say that your BA or the product owner want to just execute the API related test cases or API related scenarios, so you can mention there at the rate API. So you can have each scenario can have one or more tags. So based on these tags, Cucumber helps you to run those specific scenarios. Okay, like a category, right? So that's what the at the rate. So you can have at the rate, you can say functional, comma at the rate regression, comma at the rate API, you can mention those things. Then another thing, you can have comments, because for more understanding what is that scenario is all about, if you want to give more information to the feature file but you don't want to execute them, you can have that in the comments by having an hash sign. Okay, now the second thing is that strings, even each of your steps supports some kind of string format. We'll see how we can utilize the regular expression to get these strings into the step definition. Okay, but that is one of the feature Cucumber supports. Now if you see examples in data table, these are the pipe signs. So each of your data in that grid in the examples in data table should be separated by using pipe sign, so that the Cucumber can understand like whatever inside one pipe is a set of data, one data, like a cell, right? So that is what the, it's a separator between the test data. Okay, so that's pretty much which covers your entire feature file. Okay, so just to get into more details about this, I've created one sample feature file which covers all of these what do you call attributes or the keywords. So let's see that. So if you see here, it's a sample feature file where at the beginning, if you see feature colon, so every keyword should end with a colon. Okay, you can say welcome to profile. So this particular what you call feature is kind of a hypothetical scenario where how exactly your profile application looks like. So you have a web application where you can enter different profiles and you can fetch it from the database. So that's what the feature would be, like profile database verification. If you see the scenario outline, multiple profile entry, so one profile can have name, then the tool, and then the experience where they want to enter into the database. Now if you see, let's say you have three profiles you want to enter into the database, so you will have to write three times, right? So instead of that, as I was telling, you can take help of the scenario outline with the examples as test data. So if you see here, like given profile entry screen means the user should be on the profile entry screen, then user enters the name, user enters the tool, user enters the experience. Now if you see, I'm not doing any hard code. Instead of that, what I did, I mentioned inside the examples. So if you see here, inside the examples I mentioned, so Cucumber normally ignores the first line because that is more into the header of that grid. And then if you see, there are two rows of data. So what will happen, this scenario outline will execute two times. So first, it will take the first line, that is nothing but PQR, protractor, and 5. So it will enter respectively, and it will validate whether there is a text coming as saved successfully, something the user, I mean the web browser is giving you as a response. So you will just validate that, because each scenario we should be having a validation in that. So some kind of expect scenario should be there, or an assertion. Okay, so that is what I'm doing there. As I told, the scenario outline always comes with examples, and you can have multiple rows of data. How many rows are there, it will execute that many time. That is what the beauty of scenario outline. Okay, now let's see a basic scenario where you want to execute only once. Like let's say I want to validate the profile with the data table. Now here if you see, I'm not doing anything like repeating here. I'm getting, so let's say that there is a summary. Like once you add all the profiles, there is another screen on your on your application where it shows all the profiles. So from the grid you want to read. Now this is one time, right? Like entire grid you want to fetch it, not like each row you need to fetch it. So that's where actually the scenario with data table. So data table don't have any keyword. If you don't mention that as examples, that become a data table. Okay, so if you see the scenario, validate profiles with the data table, given profile report screen, when fetch the profile, read that those profiles, then validate. So you will have a test data. From where you are getting the test data, that is nothing but this is your expected one. And the fetch the profile is nothing but you are performing an action, that is nothing but the actual test data. So in then keyword, you are performing the fetched profile and from the data table. Okay, now more today I'm not going to discuss anything technical perspective, like how we can utilize this name, like how we can use a regular expression to fetch the name from the grid examples table, or else how we can read the data table and loop it. That will be a separate session for that. But yeah, this example, and here what you can mention, you can mention at the rate data entry, at the rate data fetching, like a tag. So let's say you have I mean your application changed something on the report screen. Now if anything changed on the report screen, I mean reading that report screen, the PA or the product owner might not want to execute this scenario. So they can what they can do, they can have a separate tags. If they want to only execute this one, they can use that tag, and Cucumber can just execute this particular scenario and can leave this as it is. It can skip this one. This is just an example where I have shown two scenarios, but in real time you can have 10 to 15 scenarios in each feature file, and every time you might not want to execute that many features. That's why wherever the tags will come into the picture. Okay, so I mean, try to write your own feature files the way you feel. Take up any of the functionality. Like here, I taken as a profile database, but you can have a login scenario. You try to write your own feature file, because if you see, if your organization is implementing BDD, you have to first very much familiar with this. Creating these feature files, because as of I have seen different organizations, it's not mandatory that always the BS or the product owners will only write the feature. They can just give you the feature and scenarios, but the steps can be written by the E2E folks or the functional testers who are there. So always good to know all these things beforehand, before getting into the real time scenario. Okay, so that's all what I had. In the upcoming videos, we will see more into the technical aspect of each of the keywords that we have seen. So stay tuned and do subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.